Good morning, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Mark Wiens. I'm in the Shouf Mountain Reserve area of Lebanon, and today we are gonna eat some of the traditional food and learn about the culture from this area, as well as we're gonna visit the Biosphere Reserve, home to the Cedars of Lebanon, and I know we're gonna eat a lot of fresh local produce. It's gonna be a fantastic day. I'm gonna share everything as it unfolds with you today in this video. And right behind me, this is where we slept last night. This is a wooden house, fully built, almost like fully of pine, I believe. Really nice place, overlooking the entire mountain. Yeah, the view is stunning. First thing this morning, we were coming to the garden to pick some vegetables for breakfast, and Cedar has some really nice vegetables growing fresh. Yeah, that's gonna be great. And then we're gonna cook and eat breakfast first thing today. Yeah, I mean, this is a whole self-sustaining farm. They have vegetables growing, they have livestock, chickens, goats, sheep, and we're gonna collect some eggs now for breakfast. But they also have horses, they have donkeys. Nice. Yeah, those eggs are beautiful. You can tell they are real eggs, by the way. They're different sizes, different colors, not perfect. And real eggs, I mean, like just organic, local, fresh. We walked down to the guest house now, and Mom is going to be making breakfast. The eggs, the fresh eggs that we brought, especially and also the herbs, the vegetables that we just picked. One of the things she's making is fresh fool, which are fava beans. She mashed up some garlic and some olive oil and some salt, and then squeezed in some lemon, fresh lemon. You can smell the lemon, and then the beans go in. And she's kind of mashing and stirring at the same time. All sitting down for breakfast now, got the different side dishes, the fool, and then eggs cooked in the clay pans, plus the fresh vegetables that we picked. Beans. You want some? Beans.
And now we'll put the olive oil on the fool.
You always have to add more olive oil to the fool. Yeah, you gotta have olive oil. And then I'm just gonna add some of those eggs right to my bowl of fool. Even though it has a lot of olive oil, it doesn't taste like too rich or too like oily. It's just like, it's subtle. The olive oil is subtle. Oh yeah, the eggs are wonderful. You can taste the freshness of them, the quality of it, and then I'm gonna add some of the vegetables directly to or maybe actually better to put them on the bread than eat it with the fool. Okay, got some mint, got some raka in here, and I think and maybe some of those chicory leaves.
All di Blasio.
بالهون وبالتنورين. The local Lebanese. Okay, some mint, some za'atar.
This is a mountain style bite. The local Lebanese inbred with mint leaves with za'atar. Za'atar is one of my favorite things, and olive oil. Very good. It highlights the Lebanese. Breakfast was delicious. From here, we're gonna drive across the mountain, well, through the valley, across to the mountain that we can see, and that's where the biosphere of the Cedars of Lebanon are located, in the Shouf. And then we'll go around from there. We'll go around this entire Shouf area and visit some of the different places, some of the villages, some of the people, some of the food. Okay, so we drove up to the top of the mountain area, and there's a small hike that we're gonna do in the reserve. This is Barouk, the Barouk cedar forest. The cedars in this area are thousands of years old. You can see the branch, like this whole base area, multiple huge stumps coming out of the base of it, and just look up at the branches that just reach out like arms, and just a canopy of cedar, a canopy of shade, and the aromas of the pine. Yeah, The tradition is this tree is called the Old Lady, which is a huge cedar tree, and the tradition is to hold hands all the way, to hug. We made it. There's the connection. Hey, we made it. We hugged the Old Lady all the way. Success. Possibly this is the exact tree on the flag of Lebanon because it's the similar shape. So from the biosphere, from the reserve, the Cedars Reserve, we drove across the ridge and we're in another valley. Gorgeous valley with fruit trees. It's lush, you can hear the water flowing. And this is a special place where their story is it's three brothers who have created some very unique, respected sculptures. And then open to the public certain times of the year to view them, the sculptures, as well as the property and the nature.
Those are an abstract sculptures. When we say abstract, directly we remember Hilma af Klint, the Swedish painter who makes the first painting, 1905. She makes the first painting as an abstract. That the Japanese are the... So the house is built using natural materials, everything available here. We use it in our building.
There's so many, what a craft, such genius ideas, and the whole eco-friendly house. This is an amazing tree. It's like an upside down hedge. I think we're gonna have a cup of coffee here, but look at this. I don't even know how they did it. They just trimmed it perfectly, keeping that trim perfect. Okay, a fresh basket of the mulberries. They're so sweet and so juicy, and I love that texture on the outside of them. We're back at Cesar's guest house now, where we're gonna cook lunch, some of the local dishes, and she's now rolling up some of the awara aina, which is the stuffed grape leaves. One of my favorite things in this region, and it's a mixture of parsley with tomatoes with rice and a dressing, olive oil, and I know many other things, but then she fills it up into a little roll, wraps it up, and then that's gonna be cooked. But the grape leaves are already like cured, kind of pickled already. And she's also making kibbeh, one type of kibbeh, which are the oval American football shaped kibbeh. And she did that so fast. So the mixture, it's a mixture of minced meat plus Bulgar wheat, the outside. And she molded it into a hollow little cup with a cone at the bottom, and then filled it up with a mixture. It's minced meat with pine nuts, I believe, and some spices, especially allspice. Filled it up with that, and then closed it into a point as well, so you have points on either end. But she did that so fast. It was like 20 seconds and she made one. So much experience wrapping both the awara aina and the kibbeh, but she does it so fast and such precision. Even like everything she makes is the exact same size too. Like she knows perfectly in her head, in her feeling, the size to make them. They're all equal. This is the type of kibbeh that's deep fried in oil. So as soon as she sticks them into the oil, though, you can immediately start to smell the spice come out, especially like a nutmeg, really a nutmeg aroma to it. Like all types of kibbeh includes that spice mixture. Yeah, that smells really good. I was wondering what was in that big pot, so we just opened it, and this aroma of like sweet spices. This is a dish that I've been waiting for called Harees, and it's almost like like a stew or a soup? Kind of like a soup. It's a stew because it's made with this type of wheat. Which is the main grain in there. And then those are like huge, I believe, cow bones in there, plus with the meat also that just starts to tenderize, starts to cook because it's cooked for 12 hours. And then also with a unique blend of spices which she has in a bag, which includes cardamom, cinnamon. You can smell all those sweet spices. And she's gonna take it out of the bag just so we can see what spices she used. The aroma of those spices that she's unloading, it smells like a potpourri mix. It's amazing. The cardamom, there's clove, there's ginger, there's I believe maybe bay leaves, cinnamon, and then I'm not sure what this one is. This one is like a Colangen. It smells like cinnamon too. It smells better. Maybe it's taken on the aroma of the cinnamon sticks. It's a nice mix. Yeah, a lot of sweet spices, but also the ginger in there. Yeah, that Harees is actually going to be for dinner tonight, whereas the kibbeh and the awara aina is going to be for lunch, because that still needs to cook for another 6 hours or a while. The meat is just going to melt into the wheat, into that soupy liquid. She is a master. For lunch also, she's making a rice dish. What's the name? Kapse. It almost does look like a biryani, like a spiced rice. So she's mixed in, there's peppers in there, there's tomatoes, and then she boiled some chicken along with the spices, cardamom and ginger, and now she's adding that to the rice. So then she puts all that broth from the chicken and those spices into the rice, and then she said she's gonna cook it for another 15 minutes. It's not a dish I would think of when I'm thinking of Lebanese food. That is awesome. I can't wait to try it. We're gonna have a whole platter of the kibbeh later for lunch, but I got a taste test in the kitchen. Hot and fresh. One of the greatest things of Lebanon. It's so good. The pine nuts, you crunch on the pine nuts, the onions, the allspice, the nutmeg, the crunchy outer layer. It's a meat wheat wrapper stuffed with meat. I've been in Lebanon for about 10 days, and this is my first time to eat rice, but they say rice is commonly eaten at home but not often served at restaurants, so this is a really home-cooked meal.
So this is the kapse. Rice, vegetables and chicken with some cashew nuts and almonds.
Thank you.
Who wants some kapse? Cedar? No.
Oh wow, that's delicious. Immediately taking the bite, you can smell the spices. Maybe cinnamon, maybe the cardamom in there, and turmeric, I believe. That's like a biryani, toned down in spices, but really comforting, really, really good.
Good. And what was the last? The أول هيك مثل بول.
Okay, gonna try some of the wara aina, which are the stuffed grape leaves now with rice. These have been cooked already, and she also cooked it with that dressing that the the mixture was made into. Oh wow. Oh, those are amazing. They're so good. It's so almost like a pudding on the inside. Oh, you can see there's onion in there, I think, as well. It's so good. It just like squeezes out with like sour, juicy wonderfulness. And then I've had a few of these already, snacking on them in the kitchen. The fried kibbeh. You did too, man. A whole plate now. This is the type of thing you can just snack on all day long, but they are kind of heavy at the same time because of that wheat. But the meat, the allspice and the pine nuts in there, that's what does it for me. It's also really good with salad as well. I think that extra lemon juice. Yeah, because one of my favorite moves is to take the kibbeh, the fried kibbeh like this, and put on a spoon of tabbouleh, which is the same idea as the salad. Because that extra lemon juice. That was a brilliant lunch. It was so good. I love rice. That was my first time to eat rice so far on this trip to Lebanon, and it was delicious. The mild spices mixed with the salad, and those are some of the best stuffed grape leaves I've had as well. From here, we got to move because that was actually a very late lunch, like a 5 p.m. lunch, and we're trying to go try this type of tea, which is called mate, which is actually from South America. That is like you'll find in southern Brazil, Uruguay, Argentina, mate, which is a herb that they drink in a gourd. And when I was in that area, when I lived in Argentina, I drank it every day, not only every day, but like every 10 minutes, which they do in the culture. But they actually have this culture here, which we're gonna go see more about that when we get there, and then we got to get somewhere for the sunset, so we're on our way. Part of the mate experience is the clay, kind of like a charcoal holder, where the charcoal rests where you light the charcoal, as that's part of it. But I don't know that part of it, so we're gonna find out. But she's just making one of the vessels now. It's a mixture of a type of clay plus some hay inside of it to make that texture right, and then she's molding it into a little pan, like a big tray, and then with holes in the bottom. Very cool to see her make those. What I like about it is that it's like rustic. None of them are completely precise. None of them are completely the same. They're kind of like leaning over at the same time. And that leads us directly into mate and coffee time. We're never expected to be drinking yerba mate in Lebanon. And the story is still unclear, but it did come from South America, it did come from Argentina. But that entire region, south of Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina, they drink mate like habitually every day, every few minutes. Even when I was in Argentina, I used to carry a thermos of water around with me. But this is amazing to be having a whole mate culture here. It's not from the tea plant, but it's an herbal tea. And then you pour in hot water, making it bubble up, and then you insert the metal straw, which at the bottom it has little holes on the bottom so you can suck up the liquid while leaving the leaves. It's been a long time, but I'm very excited. Oh yes, yes. I remember the flavor so well. Oh, it's so good. It's so soothing and so herbaceous and so like a hint of bitterness, but in a really good kind of way. Oh, I love it. Instead of carrying a whole thermos of water, this is even better, is that whole clay charcoal holder is to keep your water hot. Because when you're drinking mate, you have to continually keep adding hot water to it to keep it flowing, because it's not just like a single cup of tea. You drink one after another, after another, after another. You can just keep on drinking it actually throughout an entire day. And then if things cannot get better, some coffee to go with the mate. This is another beverage I can drink all day. And then some cookies to go with the coffee, to go with the mate. This one is covered in sesame seeds. Homemade. Kind of like a cake cookie. It's really, really bready. Yeah, it's absolutely fascinating to be drinking mate in the mountains, the Shouf mountains, in the central part of Lebanon. This is a beverage that's associated with many good memories. That was very fun to hang out and drink some mate and just to learn about the mate culture in Lebanon, which is fascinating to me. I can't even believe it. I didn't even know. And then this is a very nice house sitting under the grapevines with the view of the mountains. But we gotta head on now because we gotta get somewhere for sunset, and that's coming pretty soon. Okay, we drove up the side of the mountain. I think this is actually the reserve again, but on a different side of the reserve. And we're here we gotta hike up a little bit, but we're here just a few minutes before sunset. Look at that sun right now. Look at that color poking out over the mountain. That contrast, there we go. Now you can see it, but okay, we gotta do a little bit walking, maybe up to a higher point to get the full view.
I think we have to run.
Okay, I think we have to run.
Everyone is running.
Okay, let's go. This way?
I'm holding the beer so I will not run.
I'm climbing up scrambling up the side of the mountain from somebody's campsite. Alright, do we have to run? We still got 2 minutes. Oh, so this is a spot. Oh, so this is really a viewpoint. It's like a deck over the side of the mountain. Oh, we just sprinted up the mountain. And they even have folding chairs, like theater chairs. Wow, that view is incredible though. Wow, it's like straight layers going from blue gradient down to dark to the valley. Yeah, that is gorgeous. Cheers.
Still have more people.
Oh, okay.
Cheers.
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 Yeah, I'm happy you came at time.
We just made it 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We had an amazing 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sunset is beautiful. It's kind of unique, unlike any sunset I've seen because of the line like across the entire horizon.
You have to dip it with the lemon
Okay,
here.
which is down here.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
it.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Lemon.
Good.
Mmm. Oh yeah, that's delicious. We're back at the Cesar's guest house now, and the Harees has still been cooking the entire time we were gone for I think over 12 hours now. Before there were these big chunks of meat and the big bones. The bones have been removed, but the meat, even the chunks of meat, have just fully dissolved into the whole dish, making a porridge. The meat is still in there. It's just, yeah, fully dissolved. It's thickened. It's smelling delicious, and now we brought it outside over the fire, so we're finishing it over the fire so it gets that smoky end, and then it will be ready to eat very soon. Still stirring, but gotta take a taste test right next to the pan, right next to the pot. There's a bonfire going. We're just all kind of hanging out. It's a really nice atmosphere and just enjoying the nature, but it is definitely time to taste the Harees. Oh, you smell the cardamom. You think it's almost like it almost smells like a rice pudding because of that cardamom, but it's like totally different. It's a meat stew porridge. Okay. Mmm. Oh, it is almost like it's wheat, but it's almost like a cross between savory and it's not sweet, but you almost think it's going to be sweet because of the spices used in it to increase even the sweet spices that goes along with Harees. Once you dish a bowl, you even sprinkle a bit of cinnamon on top. So again, you smell that sweet aroma. It has like all the sweet spices you can imagine in it, but without the sugar, and just a savory pudding-like porridge with meat. Oh,
So
you
she's
put
saying
kibbeh in
that
it
the
too.
kibbeh with the
Oh yeah,
Harees
that's what she
This
said.
way.
Okay.
Mark.
Yes.
This way.
Dip it.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds wonderful. Okay, move over to the table where it's a little easier to eat. I almost dropped the entire load of Harees on my lap. Okay. And like part of the wheat has like fully turned into a smooth porridge, but part of the wheat is also a little bit like you taste the kernels of them. You taste the grains of the wheat a little bit as well. It's kind of like liquefied meat into porridge form with the wheat. Okay, now I'm gonna try it with the kibbeh. Mix around that cinnamon. I think the second dip after the first bite will be even better because you can scoop up more. Oh yeah, everything is better with kibbeh. And it acts like almost like a bread with a soup. Like you want to be eating bread when you have soup, so you can kind of scoop it up, so you can mop it up, so you can get all the juices going. You should use kibbeh instead of bread. Final combination is the garlic, which was roasted over the fire as well. Eat that with the Harees. Oh yeah. And the garlic makes everything better, but that's smoky, that's roasted, that's like caramelized garlic. You want to have a clove in every bite. Yeah, it's so good with the garlic. just finished with dinner, and that was such a unique dish to end this day. But the day, I mean, it started off kind of slow, but then it progressed, and that home-cooked meal by one of the ladies from the village here, that was amazing. The rice, those are some of the best grape leaf rolls. Let me see if I can even remember the name. I can never remember the name. Awara Aina. Is that it? Is that right? Anyways, that word is so hard for me to remember, but those are some of the best I've had today. And then just being able to hang out. A big thank you to Cedar for arranging everything. This was a beautiful place. I loved that small, even though it was a short hike through the biosphere, through the cedars. That was gorgeous. I also want to say a big thank you to Maya and Jed for arranging, and to USAID for funding my trip to Lebanon. I'll have links in the description box below that you can check out. And finally, I want to say a big thank you to you for watching this video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not already subscribed, click subscribe now. Also click the little bell icon so that you get notified of the next video that I publish. And if you haven't watched this entire Lebanon series, I'll have the link in the description box as well. You can watch the entire playlist, all of the amazing Lebanese food videos. Good night from the Shouf Reserve in the mountains of Lebanon. See you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.